So let's talk energy. Our primary connections unit, essential energy, focuses on the transfer of energy from one form to another. But an underlying concept positions us to question, how is energy stored? We can't simply pack it in a box in our garage. So where does it go? And how is it used at a later time? Let's do some research. In order for our survival on Earth, we need this next process. It involves the sun and how it provides nutrients for plants to survive and grow. It also is an example of how energy from the sun, such as radiant or light energy, is transferred into chemical energy, which is then stored in the plant. So, the hypothesis used to test this process today is if a plant is exposed to CO2 and H2O, in the presence of sunlight, an energy transformation will occur and provide opportunity for a new form of energy to be stored. Let's test this hypothesis. This process is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is commonly known as a cycle in which provides plants with food and living beings with oxygen. This process occurs in plants' leaves, in specific cells called chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll. An interesting fact, chlorophyll is the pigments that gives leaves their green colour. But back to the process. So the CO2 is what we as humans breathe out and is what the plant absorbs, which is the beginning stages of the process. Water and nutrients are found in the soil and transported to the leaf up through the xylem, or the stem of the plant. And the sunlight is then used to convert the CO2 and water into oxygen, which is considered the waste product of plants that is released back into the air. And glucose or sugars, which is the energy source for plants, and it is this food source that is the example of how energy can be stored. This storing of the glucose occurs when plants need a source of nutrients during the night hours, when there is no sunlight to readily produce this photosynthesis process. Analysing this scenario represents an everyday example of both energy transformation, such as sunlight, to chemical energy, and then how energy can then be stored. The example given being the glucose or starch stored in organelles called starch granules for the plant to use as food. So we've asked a question, hypothesized, and tested the experiment, and I think it's safe to say that our hypothesis is true. And as a result of this, it can be seen in the word equation here. CO2 and water, in the presence of sunlight, produces oxygen and sugar. So our findings to report: energy can be transferred, energy can be stored, and both processes can occur simultaneously. And an example that you as students experience in your surroundings every day that supports our survival is the photosynthesis process in plants.